Welcome to Beddy Box, where every story plants a seed of kindness and fills young hearts with wonder. Tonight's story is about Eli, a gentle elephant who discovered that sharing isn't just about things. It's about caring. In the heart of the sunny savannah, the sun shone brighter than ever before. It was so hot that even the butterflies were too tired to flutter. Under the tallest baobab tree stood Eli, a big, kind elephant with floppy ears and a heart as wide as the plains. He loved the shade of his tree. It was cool, calm, and peaceful. Every day, Eli would stand beneath its leafy branches, flapping his ears happily. But one afternoon, as the sun grew fiercer, a small meerkat named Mina came running by, her tiny paws kicking up dust. "Mr. Elephant," she squeaked, her voice barely a whisper. "It's so hot. May I rest in your shade for a while?" Eli smiled kindly, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "Of course, little Mina," he rumbled softly. "There's room for two." Mina sighed with relief and curled up into a little furry ball beside him. Together they rested quietly under the great baobab tree, enjoying the cool stillness. Word of Eli's kindness spread across the savannah like a gentle breeze. Soon a parade of hot and tired animals arrived. There was Zane the zebra, his stripes shimmering in the heat, Lulu the parrot, whose vibrant feathers seemed to droop, Tico the tortoise, moving much faster than usual to escape the sun, and even Raffi the lion cub, panting with his tongue out. "Can we share your shade too, Eli?" they asked in a chorus. Eli looked at the space beneath his tree. It was getting smaller with each new friend, but then he looked at their weary faces and smiled his big, warm smile. "Come on in," he said cheerfully. "We'll make it work." So the friends gathered close. Some sat, some leaned, and some lay down. Mina snuggled near Eli's foot. Zane rested his head on a low branch, and Lulu perched on Eli's broad back. The cool shade wrapped around them like a big, leafy hug. For a while, all was peaceful and quiet, with only the sound of soft breathing and the distant chirp of a cricket. But then, a loud, grumpy grumble broke the calm. It was Goro the giraffe. His long neck was craned awkwardly as he tried to find a spot. "There's no more room," he huffed, stamping a hoof.
"Eli, you're too big. You're taking up all the shade." Eli blinked, surprised by Goro's sharp words. His kind heart ached. "I'm sorry, Goro," he said gently. "I didn't mean to. Maybe if I move over just a little?" But when Eli shifted his large body, the other animals began to argue. "You're squishing me," cried Mina from below. "My tail's in the sun,"
complained Zane, flicking his tail unhappily. "My shell is getting hot," added Tico. Eli felt a pang of sadness. He had only tried to help, but now everyone was upset with him and with each other. He didn't know what to do. Just then, as the bickering grew louder, a change began to happen in the sky. Dark, puffy clouds started to gather, covering the sun like a soft grey blanket. A cool wind whispered through the tall grass, making the leaves on the baobab tree dance. And then, boom! A gentle rumble of thunder echoed across the plains, followed by the pitter-patter of raindrops. Soon, a wonderful, refreshing rain began to fall. The animals, who had been arguing just moments before, stopped and looked up. Squeals of delight and happy laughter filled the air as they began to splash through the newly formed puddles. No one cared about shade anymore. They were all dancing and playing in the cool, wonderful rain together. Eli lifted his trunk and let out a big, deep, joyful laugh that echoed with the thunder. "See," he called out to his friends, "the sun and the rain always take turns. There's enough for everyone if we just learn to share and wait our turn too." The animals paused their play, the cool water trickling down their fur and feathers. They looked at each other, then at Eli, and realized how true his words were. They had been so busy fighting over a small patch of shade that they had forgotten how kind Eli had been to share it in the first place. Mina the meerkat was the first to speak, her voice full of regret. "I'm sorry, Eli. You shared with all of us, and we got greedy." Goro the giraffe lowered his long neck, looking ashamed. "You're right," he said softly. "You're the biggest of all of us, but you also have the biggest heart." Eli smiled, his sadness completely gone. "That's okay, friends. What matters is that we care for each other through the sun and through the rain." From that day on, a new spirit of friendship blossomed in the sunny savannah. When it was sunny, the animals all sat together under Eli's tree, making room for everyone without a single complaint. They shared stories and laughter in the cool shade, and when it rained, Eli would use his big, floppy ears like giant umbrellas, shielding the little ones from getting too wet. They learned that there was always a way to help, and no one was ever left out again. The savannah was a happier place, all because of one kind elephant who shared his shade. And that is how Eli the elephant taught his friends that sharing isn't just about giving what you have, it's about making space in your heart for others. So, little dreamer, remember that kindness grows whenever we share our shade with someone in need. Good night from Beddy Box, where big hearts and small acts of love make the world a brighter place.